Hey guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? I am Coach Nye. So today's episode is stop comparing yourself. That's what we're going to talk about today. That's what today's leadership episode is about. Stop comparing yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And as people come in, they come in. They come in. All right, so good morning and welcome to the Lead Her Morning Show, where we talk about leadership, healing, self-love, discipline, and becoming the woman we are called to be. This is your time to reset your mind, grow, reflect, and start your day with intentions. That's what today is about. So I'm going to go ahead and get the class going. And sorry guys, I got my big screen today. I got Top Dog today. Hey guys, come on in. So anyway, today is stop comparing yourself. So let's jump into number one. Number one, comparison steals joy. What do I mean by that? I'll give you a couple of examples. Wow. See what happens when you change your location of where you're at? We're in the studio today, so it steals your joy. How does it steal your joy? How does comparison steals your joy? Comparison is one of the fastest ways to become unhappy. That is, comparing yourself is the fastest way to become unhappy with what? Your own life. Listen, a lot of people have lost friendships and lost partnerships and different things because the comparison. Either they're comparing themselves to the person's ex, comparing themselves to your lifestyle. Listen, do you know how many friends, so-called friends I've had? Thank you for the follow, heart. Listen, how many friends, so-called friends I had that we're friends until they start comparing themselves to my life. Now, I tell people my testimony of how God did things in my life. You know, the things that I don't have to work hard. I'm serious. I don't have to work hard. It just is what it is. I always tell you guys, I'm God's favorite. I know y'all been sitting around saying, I'm God's favorite. I'm God's favorite. Well, you just met me, right? But anyway, and so they go to God the way I go to God, and they expect and then they can't be happy for my joy. Is because they're comparing themselves. You have to go to God the way that He taught you to go to Him. Me and you are two different people. Our lifestyles are totally different. You can't go to God and pray for my life when that's not meant for you. Do you understand? So a lot of people will go seeking the things that you have and approaching it the way that you approached it, but it's not for them. I cannot want your life and go to God and say, I want to be just like that. And then hell starts breaking through in my life. And I'm like, well, what's going on, God? Why is this happening to me? Why is all these things happening? Well, you said you wanted to be like Coach Nye. I got to put you through everything that Coach Nye went through. See, you only see a story. You only see a glory. You don't know a story. So I got to put you through all that. So comparison is one of the fastest ways to become unhappy with your life, not their life. Let me tell you what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like. I should be further along. Why don't I have what they have? They're doing better than me. I'm behind. You're not behind. You're in your lane. You're in your lane trying to shift gears into my lane. See, you can't get in my lane. See, I'm on I-75, baby. You're supposed to be on I-95. Do you understand? You in the wrong lane. You trying to get to your destination and your inheritance, but you on the wrong highway. You talking about you trying to get to Atlanta, but yet instead of getting on 95, baby, you all the way in Memphis on I-40. What are you doing? You on 240 talking about going to Nashville. You going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. It's impossible for you to feel like you're equal to anyone when you're constantly comparing yourself, what your destiny is, to someone else. Listen, you're not going to get anyone real fast. You're going to be a failure. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. You continue trying to be somebody else and not doing what you're supposed to do, baby, you're going to be a failure, okay? You're going to fail exceedingly fast in whatever area that you're trying to succeed in because you're not doing it the way that God made it for you. You're trying to do it like everybody else. Same way. I get so sick and tired. Listen, somebody come up with something. What was that one? That little girl, that baby, that little girl, she was a baby compared to us. Cooking with Kaya. That was her name? Cooking with Kaya. Let me tell you something. That baby had all these grown ass women attacking her because of the fact they man or whoever it was looking at them, that spirit of jealousy. Now they had to go create a cooking show, cooking with Tiffany, cooking with KK, cooking with such and such. Y'all got this baby ran up out of there because y'all want what she got. But see, she was a baby. She wasn't all the way healed. She didn't make her full potential to turn around and still stand in what she had because she was working with something. But because she's a baby, she's still growing. She's going to get it back. Don't worry about it. But you want to know why yours didn't go right. Well, one, you ain't shaped up like her. You shaped up like outside dumpster. Baby, you shaped up. You over there trying to twerk with the pancakes flapping. You over there trying to be somebody that you're not. And you wondering why your cooking with Tiffany didn't work. That's why it didn't work. Because you ain't Kaya. It was for her, set for her. And that's the thing with this whole social media. Get your own lane. Find what works for you. And I'm telling you, you'll be real successful in it. Because it works for you. That's what you got to do. Stop comparing yourself to someone else. I got to look like this because my man cheated on me with the girl that looked like this. She had a pixie cut, so I'm going to go cut my hair in a pixie cut. And now you want to know why your husband keep looking upside your head because your head wide. Your head wide. The pixie cut ain't working for you. The pixie cut ain't working for you. Your head over there like you got a helmet. You know how they be looking with the wigs and them braids be patted down, wig all big. That's what your head look like with a pixie cut. And guess what? Your husband ain't attracted to that. He was attracted to you because you had long, natural, beautiful hair. But you trying to compare yourself to that. And you wondering why you ain't married no more. I don't know. You got to find what works for you. Men. You out here trying to get in the gym and you getting all buff up top because you found out your girlfriend, your wife is trying to date somebody that's a gym rat, but you all buff up top, legs real little. You forgot to work legs. Come over here with Coach Nye. I got a training program for that. Teach you how to build a shelf. But that ain't where I'm going with this. What I'm trying to say is you too busy trying to impress someone by trying to be somebody else when all you got to do is be yourself. What's for you is going to be for you. Maybe that wasn't your wife. That was something that you wanted, but it wasn't what you needed. Do you understand? Needing means that God created that woman for you. God created that man for you. You just chose like, well, I'm lonely. Might as well. Might as well turn a hoe into a housewife. Oops, did I say that out loud? Might as well. Do you understand? Because you're lonely. And then you start comparing yourself to what everybody else got. My friends in a relationship, my friends doing this. Trust me, done it. Been there, done it. I only teach y'all from my testimony. These classes I teach is because either something that I went through or I know someone that went through it and I was there with them every step of the way. Listen. So listen, all this, I should be further along. Why don't I have what they have? They're doing better than me. I'm behind. You're behind on whose standards? Whose standards are you behind on? Yours. Because, using me as an example, I'm Coach Nye. You don't know what I have going on up here, right? This is where I live every day. This is my body. This is where I live every day. This is my mind. This is where my thoughts live every day. Thank you for the follow. This is where my thoughts live every day. This is my nervous system. This is how God communicates with me every day. So you don't know what kind of secret conversations me and God having, what creative ideas that God has given me. You don't know what's going on with me. It does not matter. I can tell you right now that I'm going to start the Lead Her morning show and you can run and go start your morning show, but it ain't going to roll like Coach Nye's because my creative ideas came from God. Yours came from, I think that's what she going to do, so I'm going to do it better. See, when you go off of your own understanding, you start comparing yourself and saying, I'm behind, but to whose standard? Because with God, you're right on time every time, baby. And when you think like that, you start to do what? Feel discouraged. Feel insecure. You lose the motivation. You start to doubt yourself. You overthink your progress. You minimize your own growth. Now, ain't nothing worse than minimizing your own growth. Your own. Nobody do it like you. Your own. Hold on, let me get mine. So I'm gonna tell y'all I'm kind of fancy. Don't be hating. So I done had it for a while now. You know, the monitor on the stand. So I said, okay, usually I'm in at my desk, but today I wanted to be in the studio and teach this. I think I'm bringing everything back to the studio. Whenever you find me in the studio, just know I'm working on something. So instead of being grateful for where you are, you become focused on what you don't have. Listen, I did that for years. I was so focused. And this is the craziest thing. Excuse me. I never compare myself to anyone. My biggest competition was me all the time. But it was in the wrong way still. It was to people please. I always was pushing myself for more. Like, I got to make more money. I got to do this because I wanted to be able to take care of my family. If somebody needs something, I'll always have. That's how I looked at life. That's how I always was. And I'm like, I got to have this. And I got to have enough money that I can live and have the things that I want. And then I can have extra if they need it. That's how I always lived my life. That was it. And that was all. I never looked at it any kind of way. I never looked at nobody and said, oh, I got to get that. No. I was always in competition with self. Right? And we think that's a great thing when they say the only person you should be in competition with is yourself. That's wrong. That's another toxic trait. Now, let me explain to you why. I told you the enemy will dress up something to make it sound good, and it still is to keep you stuck. Because even though I was in competition with myself, I was constantly overworking, but it was attached to what? It was attached to people pleasing. That's what it was attached to. That's a toxic trait. So when they say only be in competition with yourself, you know, the old version of you, why want to compete with the old version of me? Matter of fact, it doesn't even exist no more. It has no identity. It doesn't exist. Listen, that means that I'm trying to bring the past into the present to get to my future. It's not going to happen. I have to leave the past where it is. Once I step into healing, the old survival me does not exist, because that's how you have to rewire your brain. You have to rewire your brain that way in order for your brain to not bounce off the ideas of, okay, when this happened before, this is what we did, and then you find yourself in a toxic. So you have to rewire your brain with that old me is gone. These are the new things. I changed my filter. Here's my filter now. When this happened, these are the healthy response I'm going to give to it. See, that's how you heal. So comparison will make you feel like you're losing even when you're growing, because you don't see the greatness within you because you're too focused on the goal. That's where the problem is. It's not so much that people hated me. It's not so much people wanted to be like me. I was jealous of me. Baby, they didn't even know they was jealous. I told you it's 3 emotions. In your household, it was 2, actually. It was happy and angry. Nobody knew how any other emotion. If you cry, you gonna get your butt whooped, right? If you cry, that means you angry, right? That's what it meant. You never had sad, you never had confused, you never had anything. If you confused, you angry. If somebody doing something nice for you, you happy. If somebody say I love you, you happy. You never had the correct position or place to put it, right? Because love is not an emotion, so we made it an emotion and we put it in happy. Love, you have to become. Love, God is the greatest gift of all, right? Love is the greatest gift of all. It is the highest gift of all. It is God. So you have to become it. It has to be within you. But we made it an emotion. We put it in happy. And when that person don't make you happy anymore, guess what's birthed? Jealousy. Because you're not angry at them, but it's something about them you just don't like. That's how jealousy shows up. So you have to understand, it's not that people are jealous of you wholeheartedly. It's just the fact of they don't know how to feel about you because they love you so much, but they want what you got and they don't understand how they can't get it. And then all of a sudden they'll find a beef and an issue with you and say that you the problem. Next thing you know, they'll be running around talking about I did this for you. I did this. If it wasn't for me, it would. Who cares? Shut up. This is why I had a problem with asking people to help me. Because, baby, I can build a house by myself. But just so happen, you just close to that one brick that I need. And right now I'm holding this brick up and I need that brick. Can you pass that brick? Baby, once they pass that brick, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have built the house. Do you understand how that goes? This is what happens. So comparing yourself feels like you're losing Even when you're growing, you don't see your own accomplishments because you're too busy in my business. That is part of the Lead Her movement. The Lead Her movement is all about me teaching women how to mind their business. I'm not talking about mind your business as something going on and you just unbothered. No, that's not. That is such a toxic trait. God teaches God teaches us to love each other and help if we need to. Help thy neighbor, right? Love thy neighbor. But the enemy teaches us, you see somebody getting hurt, pull your phone out, start recording it. So therefore you could be a witness because you might go viral. This is a blessing. You might go viral. No, that's not what it means. What I'm trying to teach you is how to mind your business, meaning stay so focused on you that you don't have time for the nonsense. You don't have time for the chaos. You don't have time for the drama. You don't have time to be going back and forth. You're focused on what's going on with you, right? In order for you to help the next person, you need to heal. That's what I teach women. You need to heal. You can't go help other people and you're not healed. Trust me, did it for years, helping everybody, got the best advice. Now on the other side, I look at it like, boy, that was the worst advice I could have gave you. Whew. But at the time I thought it was right because I'm in survival mode with you. See, when you low vibrational give the best advice to the low vibration. But a low vibration going to a higher vibrational person, it does not sound good at all. Immediately, right then and there, the higher vibration is going to look at you like, huh? Wait a minute, you did what? Oh. And you think that made sense? Okay, explain to me why you think that made sense. Because I'm wiser now. Now I can show you how that didn't make sense. So, you can be improving, healing, becoming disciplined, building something and still feel like it's not enough because you're watching someone else. That's the problem. You cannot enjoy your life while comparing it to someone else's. It's impossible. You're sitting there doing the best that you can do, baby. You're doing well in life. You are climbing charts. You are going live. You are creating stuff. You're getting more followers. You're getting more views. You're getting all these things. And then yet you still feel like, but this person just outdid me. Well, until you heal, until you see you the way God sees you, you're always going to be looking at someone's glory and don't understand what their story is. You're always going to see their glory. But you don't understand what their story is. You trying to be like them. God, I want this. I want to be, you blessing Nye. You blessing Coach Nye. I want to be blessed like that. Say less. God will give you what you ask for because you're his child. Yes, I'll give you the lifestyle Coach Nye. But you don't understand. You see her glory. You want her glory. But let me take you back to her story. I was born and raised, right? You got to take you back to the hardship that she went through. Got to take you back through the pain that she went through, the hurt that she went through, the people pleasing that she went through, all the people that just mistreat. I got to take you through all those emotions. See, in order for Coach Nye to get here, she had to even go back to her, who she was. And she had to sit in each emotion. See, now you have to sit in each emotion because you have to become emotionally intelligent. In order for God to bless you with everything that he showed you that you were going to have, you have to become emotionally intelligent, meaning that you have to learn to regulate your nervous system. Once you regulate your nervous system, now God can speak to you because you're not no longer listening with your ears. You're listening with your whole body. So now you got to sit in that. And yes, you're probably going to sit in it for a couple of years because of the fact you don't understand. You're too busy trying to get to the goal, but you asked me for something. And now you're going to feel like, what's the next thing they say? They put witchcraft on me. They destiny swapped. They did this to me. Now you ain't getting ahead. Somebody did this to me. Shut up. Nobody did anything to you. You ask for a thing, it shall be so. But do you know how to navigate it? Don't ask for a big pool and you don't know how to swim. Don't ask for the pool in that bill, the big pool. You want it to be 9 feet deep, but then when an emergency happens, you can't get to the bottom of it. See, I want a pool, but trust and believe, my pool ain't going to be no more than 5 feet. So I'm sorry, but if you over 5 feet, you're not going to have a good time in my pool. I'm 5'4". My son, he's 6. So guess what, son? You'll be able to lay down, sit down a little bit, and do a backstroke. Because my whole thing is, why would I get a pool and I can't save you if something happened? This is as far as I can go, son. I'm sorry. This is as far as I can go because I can't swim. I don't like water unless I'm bathing in it. If I ain't bathing in it, get it up off me. I don't want nothing to do with it. See? But other people, they would see, oh, she got a pool. She only got 5 feet. I'm going to do 10. But you 4 feet tall and you can't swim. What's going to happen? Right? So everyone's timeline is different. Let's talk about that. Everyone's timeline is different. Now, this is something you have to truly understand because everyone is starting at different places of your life. People are starting, right? Thank you for the follow. And then dealing with different challenges, growing at different speeds, learning different lessons, and living different lives. That's what you have to understand, that everyone, it doesn't matter. Guess what? You can be 50 years old and all of a sudden get up, do something that I've been doing for 10 years, and you become a multimillionaire. And what I'm going to say, God, how did that happen for them? Well, you got up, you healed, got up, and you did exactly what God told you to do. I decided to do exactly what God tell me to do, and then I start comparing myself to the trends. Like I always tell people, I don't look for viral moments. I don't post for the viral moment. I don't post for any of that. All I do is come on and teach, and if it's meant to do a thing, it's going to do a thing. Because I had to remember one thing. Why did I start? Why did I start? It had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with saving the world. I'm the coach that's going to save the world. How do I save the world? By teaching you how to heal. So in that, what I'm saying is, I am the moment. I am the viral moment. I am the trend. I don't need to fit someone else's trend. I am the trend because I'm doing what God told me to do. I'm trendy, right? The people that's meant for me will find me because I'm trending to the people that's set apart just for me, right? So some people started early. They even had more support or more resources and had different opportunities. Can you imagine everything that you got in vision of what you want to do and you had the finances for it? Let me tell you something. I looked at it like this. I know where I'm trying to go financially, right? And in different seasons of my life, my thought process changed. So I know where I'm trying to go financially. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to do this. And then it started to change because my thought process of generational wealth, it became clearer to me. Once I healed and was able to self-regulate and hear God, generational wealth is not about money. It's about the knowledge and wisdom. As long as you have the knowledge and wisdom, you will have everything that you want, right? So I thought about it. Now it changed because what if, listen, the why is I want to change the world by teaching you about how to heal. But what if I won the lottery? Well, I got the finances now. Well, what I want to teach you how to heal for. So purpose is how to help others. Passion is about self. If I go in with, no, I want to make this much money, 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 then I become passion. It's about the money. Once I make the money, then I'll do whatever. And I'll switch up any kind of way just to become trendy to get more followers. But in purpose, I understand that anything I need, I'm going to receive. That's just guaranteed. Those are facts. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. But the why, stay with the why. Continue to help the people heal. And I'm not talking about I'm going to heal you and I'm going to, no, what I'm talking about is you learning how to look within and you fix you. That's what I mean when I say mind your business. You go within and you fix you. So some people, they had to heal first. Some people had to learn discipline, had to rebuild, had to start over. That is me. You're comparing yourself to me, but you don't understand everything I had to do. I had to heal first. At my big age, at 4'5", I had to heal first. Do you understand? In my 40s, I had to heal. I had to learn discipline. Kind of had the discipline, but it was more of the boundaries. I had to learn the discipline, staying disciplined on the boundaries that I create for people. I had to rebuild everything. The business that I opened, I realized that I was going about that thing off of survival mode, who I used to be. Everything I build now has to be built off of who I am today. Who I am today. And then I had to start over. And I'm cool with that. Because I like who I am. This version of me, she's a badass. I like her. I like her a lot. I like her a lot. She's no. Oh my God. Okay. I'm sorry, I was getting a phone call. So that's the thing. I'm no nonsense. None. None at all. However, I'm still kind. I still lead with love. I still am who I say I am. It just is what it is. But, I like me. So your timeline is your timeline. That's what you got to remember. Stop comparing yourself. Thank y'all for the follow. Your timeline is your timeline. Women, stay out of folks' business. Stop trying to get in that man's timeline to make his timeline match yours. I don't care if you went to church. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care what you are. And you trying to be equally yoked with somebody. You cannot manipulate what God has already ordained. You cannot manipulate anything. So mind your business. Okay? Mind your business. Sit back. God gonna bring your person. But you have to focus on you. You have to be, when women say, you gonna have to search God to find me. Shut up, girl. He gonna find you around the corner. And you know why he gonna find you around the corner? Because you haven't healed. And since you haven't healed, you just talking the big noise. You talking the big noise, but you have no boundaries behind it. He gonna find you around the corner. He gonna say something nice. You gonna say, God, thank you for that. Or you gonna get under the table as they was doing what? Eating the grapes with the red panties and whatever, and he gonna come. Do you understand what they mean by that? I'm gonna tell you what it means by that. So this is from the healed version, Naisha, because the survival mode, Naisha, would have said some dumb stuff like that. But listen, the kingdom of God is within you. That's where he dwells, within you. So it's not that he got to search God. It's just that you are going to be so focused on you, right? I mean, I'm talking about you are healing, you rebuilding, you changing the way you think, you rewiring your brain, you changing the way you speak, how you see things. You trying to elevate and become the best version of you. Your character is what's going to attract him. You're going to be like Ruth. I teach about the women, leadership through the women in the Bible. Ruth, her leadership trait was her character. She got up, went to work. She wasn't trying to she was in purpose doing what she needed to do. She was so focused on her, right? She was so focused on her and Naomi. Everybody in town knew who she was and what she did. Everybody, even Boaz. Like, I heard what you did. She never talked about it. She was so focused on what she needed to do. And you see how he found her. He seen her all along. He knew what he wanted because God shows men. Because if it was up to men, baby, they will still be looking at you through the glass door. The door say pull, and them jokers still pushing, trying to get to you. They'll never get to you. They just ain't rap type. Their minds is just different. But for us, we focus. When God tells us to focus, we lock in. God get to the point that once we're locked in, he go ahead and open the door for him. Because he know he ain't gonna never get it right. He created him that way. But he finally opens the door for him. And he comes to us. But all this time, he sees you. He's seen how you move because he's been looking through the glass door. He just didn't know to pull the door. He just kept pushing. But he's seen everything you did. Every act of kindness. How you smile, how you move. Trust me, when the man that's for you, he's going to tell you about things that you like. I ain't even talked to you long enough for you to notice my eyes. We ain't never even made contact. I had a guy, this is around the time we wearing masks. I don't have a mask on. I'm like, hey, I'm saying, I know who you are. It's to my eyes. Okay, God made men differently, so maybe he know. Maybe he know. But he was into me and I had no clue, right? So your timeline is your timeline. Just because someone else is further in their career, further in their business, in their relationship, making more money, more confident, does not mean you are behind. Remember that. Just because you see people doing well, they getting promoted, does not mean that you're behind. Stop comparing yourself. No. You're right on time for what you need to do. What you need to do is lock in with God. Okay, God, all this happening for them. What's for me? Well, I'm so glad you asked. My daughter, go ahead, get your pen and paper. This is what you need to do. First, get out of their business, go home and get in your business. Open up your Bible, open up your journal. I need you to write down everything that you thought about today. Well, I don't feel like writing, but see, this is what's going to get you to the next level because I'm giving you your creative idea. So that's why it's so important. Once you journal, the journaling is not for you to go back and reread and say, oh, that sounds good. Let me check that off and check. Let me spell check. No, the journal is for you to go back later because God is going to drop something else in your lap and you're going to go. Let me give you an example. God told me I was going to write a book. I was like, a book? I ain't write no book. I don't want to write no book. I don't want nobody in my business. God, come on now. You making me do too much. You making me open a business. You making me get a social media. I didn't even have social media. You making me go live. You making me do all these things and now you want me to write a book? See, because with my physical mind, I'm thinking a tell-all book or something. I don't want to talk about a book. But he said no. So I was journaling. The thing was, before that came to me, I had been journaling for months. Just journaling. And then he said, I'm going to write a book. And I'm like, well, I don't want to write a book. And I kept dreaming about this red book. I kept being like, it's just in my mind. I can't explain how God talked to me, but God just kept showing me a red book, a red book, a red book. I'm like, the little book. It's the little book. It kept being a little book. And I'm like, okay, I dream about this little book. God, what is this book? And I'm thinking like maybe I read a little book. No, it was my red journaling book. Duh, right? My red journaling book. Okay, I look at the book. I know God had to be tired of me. Gay day. So I finally open the book and I go back and I read. And I'm like, this is the book. I had already written the book. My Trinity, what is that? My Trinity Walk to Self-Love. It was already written in the journal. All I had to do was take it from paper and put it on digits and get it sent off. That's why when people say, how long did it take you to write your book? 2 weeks. But it really had been written already. So that's what that's for. So that's why I was so focused on me and I had to learn how to communicate with God. Those were the things that I was learning. How God to communicate with him, how to understand him, how to not take what God tell me and compare it to the physical world of understanding. Right? When God talks to you, you got to be out of this world in your mindset. I can't respond to God in the mindset of the physical world. It's impossible. I'll never understand. I'll constantly be pushing on the door to say pull. Right? Oh, and if you can't get in, even though it reads and it says, it says pull, I can see that, but I refuse to read it because this is what we do. It's locked. It won't open. And I'm constantly pushing. It says pull, but I'm constantly pushing. Then I say, it's not working. It's not working. Okay, well, go ahead, bust the glass and unlock it and get in. Right? But right before you're about to ruin your life by doing dumb stuff, God will come through and open the door for you. Open the door for you. Somebody just come right behind you while you freaking out and pull the door. Do you understand? And that's how God operates in our life. That's why you have to learn to communicate with God out of this world. Meaning that we are in this physical world, but this is your world. This is where you live every day. This is where you live every day. You can't take what's happening on the outside and compare it to anything spiritually on the inside. This is your world. This is where you live every day. Your thoughts live here every day. I'm going to constantly say that over and over and over so you understand the difference between the physical and the spiritual, meaning that of this world, God does not use that type of language. So it just means that you are on a different path. When someone is further in their career, further in their business, in a relationship, making more money, more confident, doesn't mean that you're behind. It just means that you're on a different path. So rushing your process can cause you to do what? Make bad decisions. We just talked about that. Skip necessary growth, burn out, lose focus. You're not late. You are in your process. It's a process. You have a process. It's your process. What do you want your process to look like? Before we even get into number 3, what do you want your process to look like? Do you want it to look stressed? I'm going to tell you right now, though, when you're in purpose, nothing is stressful. I have introduced to y'all, for the ones that's been following me for the short amount of time that I started the Lead Her movement, I have so many different businesses going on, right? And it's not hard because I'm in purpose. I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the process. Purpose is of God. That means he's doing all the work. You're just the vessel. He does all the thinking. He gives me the idea. Then he shows me how to break it down. Then he gives me an idea of this. Thank you so much for the follow. He shows me how to break this down. Do you understand? So I went from the Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp, right? That's what I reopened my business as. But God said, it's going to be an overall thing. Now, it's the Coach Now Production Company. Because that means I'm going to constantly be producing. Constantly. It's not just going to be a one thing here and a one thing. No, it's a constant production because of God. My purpose is constant. My leadership is constant. So it's going to be, everything is going to be tied back up to the Coach Now Production Company, which is the Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp, which is the Trinity Owners United, which is the Lead Her movement. Do you understand? It just keeps going and going and going. And then I'll be introducing more to you. But I'm able to do all these things by myself because I allow God to guide me. When I'm in survival mode, trying to hurry up and get some money, chasing the bag, I make bad decisions. I skip the necessary growth. That's how you get the people that, okay, they'll come on your live, they'll go wherever, they'll watch your videos, and then they'll go create another video and try and make it. Those people come. And then they like, well, God, what about me? I got more followers than them. What about me? I got more of this. What about me? I'm in Mississippi. What about me? Right? That's what they go. But that ain't your purpose. That's not your process. That's their process, right? So let's get into number 3. Focus on your growth, not someone else's life. Come on, haters. Come on in. I know y'all watching. Go ahead, tap the screen. Come on in. Let's have a conversation. Your energy should be focused on what? Your habits. Let's talk about your habits. I can tell you where you're going to be and what your life is going to be like in 6 months and maybe a year by your habits. If your habits are trash, then I know your goals are trash. You're never going to meet the goals of, I'm going to be here in 6 months. I'm going to be making 6 figures. But you're sleeping and laying in the bed until 3 p.m. talking about it ain't enough time in the day. Then you got to get your kids up for school. Now you mad at your kids, fussing at your kids. You got to fold the clothes, you got to wash, you got to cook, you got to do all this. You mad because you stayed in the bed till 3 o'clock. Now you mad at your kids. Your kids can't even enjoy themselves when they get home from school. They can't even relax because of the fact you stressing them out. Right? But I'm going to be making 6 figures. 6 figures on what? I'm going to create my own business. Okay, you haven't even started. As of today, you still have not even started to even research what an LLC is. What is it going to be nonprofit? You ain't did nothing. 3 months later, you ain't did nothing. 4 months later, you ain't did nothing. I already know through your habits, I know what your life is going to be like. Listen, your energy should be focused on your habits, your discipline, your mindset, your healing, your progress, and your goals. That's what it should be. That's what it should be focused on. Not what someone else is doing. No, you don't focus on what someone else is doing. I don't care nothing about what you got going on. Listen, if you are doing well, I'm going to support it. Matter of fact, I share everything. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I should have shared that. That was crazy. But it was funny. I share it. I'm just not one of those content creators. And I guess I need to start being that my social media is just, you got to have 0 people and you got to focus on this. I still share stuff. If it's funny, I'm going to share it. I don't know. I guess because I am who I am. I am who I am regardless of what I do. Do you understand? So, matter of fact, I listened to this interview and the lady said 90% of her life has to be who social media see her as. And the other 10% is who she is. So when she's out and she's just doing whatever, putting on clothes or whatever, dressing a certain type of way, drinking or whatever it is, she only get to do that about 10% of her time. And that's with close friends because the world judge her. And I thought like, dang, that is such a survival mode answer to do as they say, do as I say, not as I do. Right? Because when you're in passion, you worry about self, right? You worry about what people think. You worry about, I got to do. For me, I'm not like that. I am who I say I am. If you don't like it, it's okay. I am everything about me. I lead with everything about me. I am who I say I am. So it doesn't matter. If we go and have a cocktail, guess what? If someone's slipping and falling, get up and help them. Somebody need help with their bill, I'm going to help them with their bill. Somebody crying over there in the bar, I'm going to go sit with them. I'm still going to be me, so I don't have to pretend to be all these different people in different places of my life. So if you see me in public and you see me upset, I'm still going to be upset, but I'm still going to love you. It's just who I am. Be who you are. I don't worry about what somebody else is doing. When you focus on yourself, you grow faster. I didn't realize how fast I grew until I started mainly just focusing on me. Let me get this screen. Mainly just focusing on me. Hold on. Okay. When you focus on yourself, you grow faster. You become more confident. You build discipline. You create your own path. You stay consistent. And when you focus on others, you get distracted. Yes, you get distracted. You feel discouraged. You lose confidence. You lose directions. You compare constantly comparing yourself. No. Where your focus goes, your growth goes. Remember that. Where your focus goes, your growth goes. Leaders are focused on, how can I improve myself every day? How can I improve myself every day? That's what a leader does. How can I improve myself? I don't say, how do I compare myself to someone else? No. Social media, let's talk about that one. Social media is a highlight reel, not real life. It's a highlight reel, not real life. And that's another thing too. You got two. You got the ones that get on social media and pretend to be. Then you got the ones that get on social media like myself, and you have a whole outlook of how my life is. You decided, oh man, she's doing this, I never said I was doing any of that. Do you understand? So you got the two. So I live my life the way I am. It is what it is. I share my testimonies, things that I go through with you guys so you understand, but social media is just a highlight reel. It's not real life. It's not real life. Right? So don't get mad if your social media friend don't like you no more. That is the craziest thing to me. That is the craziest thing to me. I don't understand. Girl, I met you on social media. Boy, I met you on social media. I don't know you. That's kind of like I met you at the bus stop. And now when I come to the bus stop, you don't talk to me no more? Oh, okay. I see how you do. You see how you do what do? They ain't your friend. That's an acquaintance. So let me tell you something that my father taught me when I was a kid. I remember I came home and I was like, well, Dad, that's my friend. Daddy, that's my friend. Daddy, that's my friend. And he stopped me quick. He said, listen. And that's when I learned, I was still in elementary, what an acquaintance is and what a friend is. He said, you'll have many acquaintances in your life. But a friend, by the time you get my age, you're going to be able to count them on one hand of true friends. You're never going to have more than one hand. Remember that. And it'll be less than 5. But throughout your life, you'll know 5 people, maybe tops, that you might be able to say that's a friend. And that's through life. Now, I can count 5. But however, it doesn't mean all 5 of those I can call and tell each one of them my business. No, they're categorized in the way that I need them in my life. And that's how you got to remember. So this is very important in today's world. What you see on social media. What you see on social media is the best moments, the wins, the success, the highlights, the polished version. That's what you see. You see the polished, you see the outcome. Okay? You see the outcome. What you don't see the struggles. You don't see the failures, the bad days, the insecurities. You don't see the work behind the scenes, the sacrifices, the mistakes. You don't see any of that. So when you compare yourself, your real life to someone else's highlight reel, it creates a false reality. That's what it creates. It creates a false reality. You start thinking their life is perfect. See, it's y'all. You guys get yourself upset because you're looking at some. Listen, how many times have y'all seen people? Listen, I know people that show that they in private jets, Maybachs, all this stuff, and wads of money, all that, and they ain't really got it. I know that. But, I don't sit like, man, that's how I want to live. No. That's not how I want to live. Because if I got to show it off on screen to you, if I'm showing it off on screen to you, if I got this racks that I'm showing it off on screen to you, I don't want that. I don't want the drama and the chaos going to come behind it if I really live that way. See, one thing that I learned about people with money is you'll never know they got money. You just won't know they got money. They live an ordinary, regular, degular life. I was always looked at as just, I guess, basic, right? Because I never put on the lashes and all the extra stuff. Now, I'll throw a wig on here and there. But the lashes and all that stuff, I never walked around like, I got the fancy this. Now, I had all those things in my closet. Had all those things in my garage. Do you get it? Have all those things in my garage, which meant I had a house. I had all those things. But you wouldn't know any of those things about me unless you came to visit me. This is the most public my life has been since I've been on social media, because I get to be around when I'm outside and things like that and get to see things about me. But I'm not that type of person. You won't know unless you know me. So when you start to compare your real life to someone else's highlights, right? They highlight reels. It creates a false reality. You start thinking their life is perfect. As we talked about, they have it all together. I'm behind. But you are comparing your full reality to someone else's edited version of their life. It's the edited version of their life. You're comparing your full reality. What we talk about, your mistakes, your sacrifices, your behind the scene, your insecurity, your bad days. You're comparing all those things and not even looking at your success to someone else's edited version. Let me give you an example of what that looked like. I took a picture. I look real good. I look like I got it because this is a good right here. This area right here is a good little setup. Yes, that's it, baby. But behind that closed door, it's nasty, right? They open that door, it's going to be stuff everywhere. It's going to be so messed up. And then behind the camera, guess what's behind the camera? My baby with his snotty nose, dirty diapers, and the air mattress. But what you seen is this, right? And you comparing your life where you got a roof over your head. You got a job. You can pay your bills. You having a good time. You got a husband. You got kids. You got things. Listen, love is in that household. But you too busy chasing behind what I'm pretending to have. That's what you need to get out of that. You have to get out of that. You come on now. Don't compare your real life to someone else's, their highlight reel. Don't do that. So someone else's edited version. So that is not a fair comparison. You're doing well and they're not. Everyone has struggles. Everybody got challenges. And everyone has things that they don't post. Things that they don't post. Things that they don't post. Everyone have it. So don't compare your real life to someone else's highlight reel. Okay? Listen, the way the illusion, I was going to say the military. It's not the military. The way social media has created the illusions to keep us trapped in a moment, to keep us trapped in a space of confusion, not being happy with what God blessed us. That's the underline of it all. The enemy created what they call comparison, right? Meaning that this is what they taught us in survival mode. If you want to be successful, look at that person. Follow somebody. Get you a mentor. Follow the person that's successful. The problem is they didn't tell you how that actually works. So what you did is, I'm going to emulate and I'm going to become that person. Wrong. The enemy had you feeling that way. Oh, what's up, Afro Queen? I was in the military. I did my time, child. I did my time in the army. Did my time. But yeah, what's up, sister in arms? Well, Curtis, what's up, brother in arms? Listen, but at the end of it all, let me explain something to you. You have to look at it all. You have to look at it all. I don't want to become you. I just want to know, okay, how did you become so confident to speak like that? Because I'm a motivational speaker and I want to be able to get on stages. What was your step one? Not me. Oh, he talk like this, I'm going to talk like that. Oh, he teach like this, I'm going to teach like that. Oh, he does this, I'm going to do that. Baby, you're going to miss your step. What you need to do is ask, what was the first thing that made you confident? Ask me, I'll tell you. The first thing was the fact that I just did it scared. That is it. I didn't have the confidence. Confidence does not come before the start. It comes after the start. Meaning when you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. That's what that means. That's when confidence starts. But before the start, there's nothing there but fear of the unknown. What survival mode told me that if I do this, then that means that, okay, if I do this, that means that people might laugh at me. What if they're going to talk about me? What if they pull me? What if this, what if that, what if? So for me, I had to do it scared. It wasn't about motivation. I told you, you got to look at motivation like an emotion. That's pretty much what it is. Emotions are up and down. Motivation is up and down. You're motivated today, you're not motivated tomorrow. It's the discipline that keeps you going. So motivation will get you started, right? Okay, I know I need to do this. Okay, I'm scared. I'm going to do it scared. The discipline is what make me show up every day. Show up every day. See, the people that try and be like you and show up and do the things that you do, see, they don't have the momentum to keep going and show up every day. Constantly showing up every day. It's the discipline behind it. And you get that discipline through God operating in purpose. See, when you operate in passion, you don't have that discipline. That's why people open up business and don't go right. They'll start another business, close that business. Then they'll start another business, close that business because they're operating off passion. Do you know passion is that's why it's a passion. It's a quick flame. There's no discipline behind it because there's no purpose behind it. The purpose behind it is the passion of you. You are behind it. Meaning that if you say you don't want to do it no more, you just don't do it no more. You just don't have a desire for it no more. It's just done. Because it's not to benefit anybody else but you. Purpose is how do I benefit others? Remember, this purpose is of God. How do you benefit others? How is others going to benefit from this? That's why you don't quit. You can't quit. How can I quit? Because the why is so much bigger than who I am. The why it has to be done is so much bigger than I can even process. Ain't got nothing to do with me. That's why I can show up every day. Because even when the days when I don't want to show up, I'm showing up. Today I didn't want to show up. I'm here. Even when I don't see anything happening in the background, and I'll be crying, still putting on mascara, getting ready to go live. Still in my closet looking for something to put on. Yep. And the whole time, like, the enemy like, what is you doing this for? You ain't, and the whole time I'm like, because I don't see it now. And I keep reminding myself every time. Tyler Perry did it. Everybody, they were so focused on their jobs. He put his last into everything. He was even willing to live in his car. I am willing to give up all my luxury to sustain the promise that God said he was going to give to me. That's me. That's who I am. I'm willing to do that. So right now I don't see anything. You see more of the storm than you see the light at the end of the tunnel. But what I had to understand is that I am the rainbow in the storm, so it don't matter. It doesn't matter what's going on around me. Yeah, it don't look good. I told you I got a serious testimony for y'all, but I have to finish going through. So the rainbow, I'm the rainbow in it all, meaning that hell is breaking loose in my life, but here I am to bring the light because love is, I had to become love. I am light. I am in joy. I am in peace. I am all those things, and that's why I'm able to come on here and teach this to y'all. So let's do a recap. Comparison will steal your joy. It will steal your confidence and your focus, okay? Your only job is to grow into the best version of you. Stay in your lane, trust your process, and keep going. That's the whole recap of today's episode. So let's get into our pie. A for acknowledge. Who do I compare myself to? Who are you comparing yourself to? R for release. Release comparison and jealousy. P for practice. Focus only on your goals today. I for inner explorer. Why do I compare myself to others? E for empower. I run my own race. That's what you need to remind yourself every day. I run my own race. Even when things ain't going right. Even when you were so excited to quit your job and start a business and you ain't bringing in no money, or nothing's looking good, or everything look like it's failing, or whatever it is, I run my own race. So your homework, you're going to journal. I got 3 topics you can journal. If you guys miss it, I will upload it. I don't know what's going on with YouTube right now. I got 5 videos that have not been able to upload to YouTube. So I'm going to play with it a little bit more today and see what's going on. But that's where they will be. They will be housed on my YouTube. My YouTube is Chat with Coach Nye, okay? So 1, how does comparison make me feel? 2, what areas of my life am I actually growing in? 3, what would change if I stopped comparing myself? Your homework for today is up to you. You could do your homework or don't do it. Your homework for today is stay off social media today. Now, that's a you problem. I don't care if you say, okay, God, I'll do 5 minutes. Okay, I only do 10. You got to do what you do. Okay? Stay off social media today. So let's do a declaration. Repeat after me. I do not compare my journey to others. I am focused on my growth, my path, and my purpose. I am not behind. I am becoming. I celebrate my progress and trust my journey. And look at this. Scripture for today is Hebrews 12, 1 through 2. Y'all ready? Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Now, if he would have compared himself to everyone else, if he would have compared himself to everything that the world was doing, he would not be able to sit down at the right hand of the throne of God, because he stayed in purpose. Y'all have to stay in purpose. What's for you is what's for you. What's for them is what's for them. God has your inheritance waiting on you. You can't get it if you're too busy trying to do it like them. The example I use, cooking with Kaya. Guess what? That was her road. That was her road. And everybody that came up against her, trust and believe, God gonna deal with them. But still, that was her road. That's what she did. That's what got her where she needed to be. And then you wanted to be cooking with Tiffany. But guess what? Cooking with Tiffany, it didn't work out for you, did it? Nobody paid attention to you. They didn't like your kitchen. They didn't like your hams in the back. They didn't like when you twerked with it. They didn't like that. You didn't look good because your skill is cooking. Why are you trying to do it like her? Girl, with them pots and pans, turn that live on and do it Tiffany's way. I don't know why cooking with Kaya came up, but that was the thing. I hated how they bullied her, regardless of how it went. She's a kid. She's a baby. Everybody was mad because she was cooking. And I don't even know if her food was good. We don't know. But the baby had something going on. And everybody, next thing you know, you cooking with, everybody got a cooking with something. And ain't nobody looking at your cooking show. Nope. Your cooking show. Nobody wants your cooking show. Well, I'm going to invite y'all to my cooking show. See, there's 3 types of people. You got a chef, you got a cook, and you got a person that's fixing something to eat. Baby, I'm fixing something to eat. I'm going to invite you to fix something to eat with Coach Nye. And we're going to sit down and I'm going to teach y'all how to become a leader while I teach y'all how to make a bologna sandwich. Don't play with me. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. You hear me? So listen, that was the end of the class today. Tomorrow, every day at 9:30, I am here, 9:30-ish, depending on the meeting. I am here teaching the Lead Her Morning Show. This is where I teach a leadership course. Also, next week, we're going to start the Trinity Owners United. Hebrews 12, 1 through 2. We're going to start the Trinity Owners United. So the Trinity Owners United is where I open up my platform. I'm going to teach first, because the whole thing is, if I'm the coach that's going to save the world, I got to teach y'all something. So me opening up my platform, I'm teaching other people how to share without expecting something. Thank you, Afro Queen. My YouTube name is Chat with Coach Nye. Chat with Coach Nye. Girl, I couldn't get it out. I need to drink some water. Listen. So the Trinity Owners United is where you guys are going to come, and it's for small business owners and small content creators, where I'll open my platform, invite you in, and you can tell about your business. That's what it is. But before I open the floor, I'm going to be teaching, and what I'm going to be teaching is how to always pay it back and not attach an emotion or develop a jealousy, because sometimes you can promote someone and they can become bigger than you. But who are you? What are you going to say now? You feel a type of way because they became bigger than you, and now you're like, oh, I shouldn't have did. No, you did what you were supposed to do. So I'm teaching people how to go within, change this whole survival mode, learn how to be friends again and support. That's what that's all about. That's what the Trinity Owners United is about. Because if I teach you, I don't just teach. I develop other leaders. As a leader, I'm developing other leaders. So I'm teaching you how to become another leader, right? To help the next person. That's how we all win. Now with the Lead Her Morning Show, so that'll be here on TikTok. It's going to start next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to I'm going to see how it goes. I'm going to try it once a week. And then, if it's a good thing, we'll keep it going. If not, maybe I'll do once a month. I don't know. I'm going to let God tell me. I asked God to let me know how it flows. So that's how that's going to go. And then here I do the Lead Her Morning Show, where I teach women how to step into leadership. Now, what I noticed is I have a lot of men in here, and it's cool because the leadership lesson is, it's versatile, men or women. It doesn't have a gender to it, so you can apply it. Now, if you miss any of the episodes, you can go to my YouTube. My YouTube is Chat with Coach Nye. That's where I house all of these teaching and videos, the replays. Now let's talk about YouTube. My YouTube, under my playlist, go check out my playlist. I have a bunch of classes, different playlists, a bunch of classes that I teach. I ask that you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I go live on YouTube teaching leadership courses over there as well. So you won't miss it. Just hit the notification bell, please, and thank you. And my YouTube is Chat with Coach Nye. Once again, my podcast is Chat with Coach Nye. It is on iHeartRadio, it's on Amazon, it's on Pandora, it is on Apple, Spotify, wherever there is major platforms. I am there. It is Chat with Coach Nye. It's not all together, it's Chat with Coach Nye. And there, I teach on there as well. I teach leadership courses as well. I just finished up God's Plan Leadership through the book of Daniel. And I gave homework. Everywhere I go, I give homework, And the homework is so, as I said, if I can keep you so focused on yourself, you can't help but heal. Okay? See your own flaws. Teaching you how to do a self-reflection, right? Hey, Vital T Ministry, what's up? Come on in. Thank you for the likes. Now, another thing with that, of you being so focused on yourself, is because I teach you guys how to see your flaws, not everyone else's flaws. Yes, they did you wrong. Yes, they mistreated you. Yes, you gave them the shirt off your back. Yes, you did all that, but I need you to understand, why did you give them the shirt off your back? Because those are people-pleasing traits. God didn't tell you to give them the shirt off your back. Somebody told you that being selfish, don't be selfish. You always give. That's not true. God will tell you who you need to give. See, God, every time God filled your cup up, that cup is for you. See, no one told you that, because they always want some of your cup, because you got the best cup, your cup coming from God. So when God poured into your cup, that is your cup. Let's say it out loud. Let's say it together. My cup. My cup. What God poured into your cup is yours. Now, let's talk about the overflow. That overflow. Yes. But you still don't pour out your cup. That's what God is giving you. Those are your blessings that he blessed you with, because he loved you so much. Because you did what you were supposed to do. That is your paycheck. That is for you. Now, the overflow is what you can share. But here's the problem. You need to heal. Because the overflow is not for everybody else. It's not for, well, I got enough. I'm going to go buy this first house. I'm going to go buy this car. And I'm going to go buy this. And I'm going to go do this. And I'm going to go do that. No, that overflow still came from God. It's for the people that's set apart that he's going to bring you to help them. You know how when people come to you and you like, dang, and they really need help and you really want to help them. And you're like, dang, I just gave it to my mama, my brother, my sister, my cousin. I just gave them the rest. Dang, but you really wish, because you know that they wouldn't have fun with their money. They was not responsible with their money, and you helped them out with something. And now this person that you know is a good person and you wanted to give it to, see, that overflow was for that person because God was going to send that person to him. But now the lesson learned is you need to learn that when I give you overflow, you wait for me to tell you how to use it. So understanding, those are the type things you have to understand. So I want you so focused on you. Focus on you. Why? You. So you can learn to create boundaries. So you can identify your triggers. So you can really stand in what you don't like. You don't like it. Say you don't like it and mean it. Don't say I don't like that, but that's just family. No, you don't like it. Get away from them. Get them out of your space because you embody love. See, love for everyone else. Love is, oh, you make me happy. We together. You make me smile. You give me butterflies. You see, that's what they think love is. That's why the enemy is so quick and able to destroy what they so-called love or was in love. He's able to dismantle that and break it down. Because love is not an emotion. Love is a being. You have to become love. You have to become that joy, that light, that peace. And that's what I want you to go within. Fix all that. Take all that negative junk out so you can really shine. I want to rekindle your flame. That's what it is. I want to teach you how to rekindle your own flame. So that's what that is. So that's pretty much what the Lead Her movement is. So we got the Lead Her movement network that's coming out, the app that's coming out. So you guys will be able to, that's where I'm going to be teaching. That's going to be my whole platform. I'm going to be over there teaching. We're going to be doing personal training. We're going to be doing life coaching sessions. Everything that I do and everything that I am, I'm in my own network now. So in the network, that's what I'll be doing. So the same way I'm teaching, how I'm teaching here, this will no longer happen. It will only happen on that. I don't know if I might keep the Lead Her morning show on TikTok, but everything from teaching women how to be sisters again. We ain't doing sis. Don't come on in network talking about, hey sis. Don't come on there talking about some friend. No. I'm your sister. I'm not your sis. A sis is you would just push me to the side like, oh, we good until we not, and then you're going to dog me out. That's what a sis do. A sister, no matter how bad your little sister get on your nerves and you want to put a couple across right here, no matter how bad, it's just, I love you too much. I'm going to bite my tongue and we're going to have a conversation, but not right now. And I'm teaching women how to be sisters again, real friends, real friends. I don't have a community. Community are for people to come together to get what they need, and that's not for the good of everybody. It's come in passion, not purpose. Tribes are people that come in purpose, and we lock in. And once we lock in, that's it. You feel convicted. When you think that you're about to do this one wrong, you immediately feel convicted because not only if you decide to sneak away, now there's a gap. So if she collapses, then this collapse. Then this collapse, then this collapse. We all collapse. We're one. That's what I'm building, the tribe. And that's what I want to bring back. I told you I'm the coach that's going to save the world. How I'm going to save the world by teaching you how to heal. And it ain't for the whole world. I'm talking about the ones that set apart. The whole world just won't get it. Now, they may copy me and do it, but it's going to fail, right? Because they're not locked in. They want what comes behind it. But we're going to do this thing for real. We are about to do this thing for real. So if you guys are real serious about it, like I said, May 19th, we'll start the founding members. And that's where I'll invite the founding members in. And that's the price that they will pay for that entire year. For the entire year, that's what they'll pay. So I enjoyed you guys. What else do I got? My website, go ahead and get on the email list. tofbootcamp.com. Get on the subscriber email list because that's where I'm going to be putting more information out about the Lead Her movement. I also email homework out every week. Every Monday I email you your homework and I post it here. So it doesn't matter where you meet me at. It doesn't matter what platform you see me at. I don't care if it's Lemonade, Facebook, Instagram, wherever. I am doing homework. You have homework. Every form of my platforms, all my social media is Chat with Coach Nye. Go follow them all. The link tree is in my bio. My website is tofbootcamp.com. My book is Trinity Walk to Self-Love. It is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart website. The link is in the link tree. So this episode will be on YouTube. Chat with Coach Nye. I think that's everything I got going on right now. We talked about Trinity, Owners United, Lead Her movement. Listen, we got a whole movement over here. Afro Queen, I'm funny though. We got a whole movement over here. So y'all be ready. If y'all really want change in your life, stay close. Share it out and bring others in. And the homework assignments that I post, it's in the my playlist. Weekly homework assignment here on TikTok. Now the thing with that is, like I say, you don't have to like it. You ain't got to comment. All I ask is that you share it out because you never know who needs it or who needs to see it. All right? I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. If no one told you today, I'm telling you now, I love you and I'm so proud of you. Remember to pour into yourself before you pour into others. Coach Nye out.